Welcome to part 2, Ginge. I'm not 100% sure why I paused it. There's like a page and some change left. I think I was anticipating my phone to lose a little bit of battery so it would do the like 20% left flash and like ruin the whole thing. Whatever. But anyways, we're gonna finish this. I'm gonna upload it for you. And I'll give you a call to let you know. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Yes, indeed. Okay. I find that I have no sympathy for the women who have nannies, on top of babysitters, on top of beepers and pagers and party coordinators, or the older ones who want to give back their damaged, distressing adopted children, or with the losers who sue and get their children back when they had given them to adequate and loving partners 3 years before. In my world, none of them would be allowed to be mothers, and if they had slipped through my licensing bureau, their children would be promptly removed and all traces of their maternal claims erased. As Sandra's dear friend and reliable babysitter, it was easy to hire Joe to do a little work on my front porch. Easy to have him bump into my research assistant, the two of them as much alike as a pair of pretty quarter horses. Easy to fuel Sandra's sudden wish to move farther out of town. Easy to send the ethics committee the information they needed to remove her license permanently. Easy to suggest she manage Joe's business. Easy to suggest that children need quality time, not quantity, and that young, handsome lovers need both. Easy to wave Sandra and Joe off in their new truck. Easy to arrange a $10,000 loan when you are such a steady customer of the local bank and own your home outright. I can't say I didn't intend harm. I did, and would not have minded even death. And if death is beyond my psychological reach, then disappearance, which is worse because it's not permanent, but better because there is no body. And I am like a wife now to this lovely, appreciative man who thinks me devoted and kind, who teases me for trembling at dead robins on the patio, for crying openly at AT&T commercials. And I am like a mother to this girl, as rapacious and charming, and roughly loving as a lion cub. The whole house creaks with their love, and I walk the floors at night up and down the handsome distressed pine stairs, in and out of the library and the handmade in England kitchen, through a family room big enough for anything but contact sports. In the daylight, I make myself garden. Fruit trees, flowers, and herbs, and it's no worse than doing the crossword puzzle as I used to. I've taken a bookkeeping class. We don't need an accountant anymore. I don't write as much as an essay for the library's newsletter, although I still volunteer there, and at Miranda School, of course, and I keep our nice house nice. I go to parties where people know not to ask writers how it's going, and I still play tennis. Although I feel like a fool and worry the Tai Chi teacher will sense that I am not like the others. I go twice a week, for whatever balance it will give me. I slip into the last row, and I do not look at the pleasant, dully focused faces of the women on either side of me. Bear catching fish, she says, and moves her long arms overhead and down, trailing through the imaginary river. Crane, and we rise up on one single shaky leg. At the end of class, we are all sweating lightly, lying in the dusty near dark of the Lyman School gym. The floor smells of boys and rubber and rosin, and I leave before they rise and bow to each other, hands in front of sternum, ostentatiously relaxed and transcendent. In the farthest northwest corner of our property, on the far side of the last stand of skinny maples, I put up an arbor and covered it with Markham's pink clematis and pearl d'azur. The giant harp-shaped leaves of Dutchman's pipe turned my corner into a secret place. I carried the pieces of large cedar bench down there one night last fall and assembled it by flashlight. There is no one in this world who knew my baby or me when I was 28, married for 4 years, and living in the graduate student apartments of the University of California at Berkeley. Our apartment was next to a pale, hunched engineer from New Jersey who lived next to an anguished physicist from Chad and his good-natured Texan wife, baking derby pie and cornbread for the whole floor. We were all across from the brilliant Indian brothers, both mathematicians, both with gold-earringed little girls and wives so quick with numbers that when Berkeley's power went out, as it often did during bad weather, the cash registers were replaced by 2 thin, dark women in fuchsia and turquoise saris wrestling over their raw silk cholas, adding up the figures without even a pencil. Our babies and toddlers played in the courtyard, and the fathers watched and played chess and drank beer, and we watched and brushed sand out of the children's hair and smoked Marlboros and were friends in a very particular, young, and hopeful way. When Eddie died, they all came to the little funeral at my university chapel and filled our apartment with biscuits and samosas and brisket, and with their kindness and their own sickening relief, we left the next day like thieves. I did not finish my PhD in English literature. My husband did not secure a teaching position at the University of San Francisco. When I meet people who remember Mario Savio's speeches on the steps of Sproul Hall, their cinder block apartments on Dwight Way, I leave the room. My own self is buried in Alta Bates Hospital, still between the sheet and the mattress of his peach plastic isolette, twisted around the tubes that wove in and out of him like translucent vines, trapped inside that giant ventilator 4 times Eddie's size without being of any use to him or his little lungs. I have made the best and happiest ending that I can in this world. Made it out of the flax and netting and leftover trim of someone else's life, I know. But I made it to keep the innocent safe and the guilty punished. And I made it as the world should be and not as I have found it. That is The Story by Amy Bloom. Love you, Ginge.